I always liked science, but as a kid I had a lot of different interests. I think around the time of high school, I started to get more interested in genetics, which is the field that I'm planning on going into. It's just so fascinating to me that there's so much of our health that's influenced by genetic disease and by genetic factors. And so I think it's a really important thing that we figure out what are the factors that contribute to these diseases. Eventually I would like to do research in genetics as a career. And it's going to be a long path of grad school and a postdoc and whatnot. But I'm excited for what's to come, and I think it's going to be really great.
I originally out of high school wanted to go to pharmacy school, but I wasn't 100% sure that I wanted to do a 6-year program right off the bat. So I decided to do biochemistry because I always loved chemistry in high school, and pharmacy requires a couple biology classes as well, so it was kind of like a nice combination for me. After pharmacy school, I kind of want to go towards more like research or like biopharmaceutical company. So I know that like some medications can cost a lot of money for people, especially because I work at the pharmacy. So some people come to pick up their chemo medication and it's really expensive for them. So I want to be part of like kind of behind the scenes, seeing like researching new drugs and trying to come up with better priced medications that can treat people.
I really didn't know what I wanted to do at first. I came in undeclared, and I quickly decided on environmental science because I've always been really passionate about the environment and about science and math and that kind of thing. I really thought it was a place in education that I could help society, I could help the environment, I could improve it, I could teach people about the environment and advocate for it.
I don't know, something about science just pulled me in, and chemistry I fell in love with actually junior year of high school. I took a college class when I was in high school still, and it was just what we call Gen Chem here, so it was like the basic chemistry class, but I just remember sitting there thinking, A, this is really tough, why am I doing this to myself, but B, I love this, like I couldn't get enough of it.
I don't think I'd say that like here I've experienced any like, I don't know, discrimination or like any challenges in that respect of being like a woman, but like I know some other places it's definitely more like prevalent, and like they don't think women are as smart as men and they shouldn't be like top doctors or get paid as much as other women, but I personally don't think I've really experienced that.
So I have faced some challenges as a female in science, but nothing that's really deterred me. You know, society does have that view where they're like, women don't really, some people, obviously not everybody or else I probably wouldn't be here, but some people think that women really shouldn't be in science and that's not where we're meant to be. There have definitely been some comments from older gentlemen and a couple older women as well. I haven't run into that so much at Marist. You know, there's been a couple occasions and I don't think people mean any harm by it. It's just, I guess, how they were taught to think.
I think the average male to female ratio, I would say it kind of depends on the class. So in biomedical sciences, which I'm taking more biomed classes right now, that tends to be a little more even, or even more predominantly female actually. And in chemistry classes, it's a little more predominantly male.
The Gen Chem, the Gen Bio's kind of been, I'd actually say probably more females than males, but then like as you go kind of up towards like the upper level classes like P-Chem or like physics, there's definitely like more males than females in those classes, but I've actually noticed like more of a distinct ratio in like the prerequisite math courses for my major. Those tend to be more males than females.
I have one class this semester. It's the first time it's ever happened to me at Marist where it's all boys and then myself. And granted, it's a small class, there's only 8 of us, so. But that's the first time. It's usually 50-50, if not more women than men. So, not so much an end goal, but the near future goal is to get a job in the industry, either biotech or pharmaceutical, because that's where you can work now. And while I'm establishing myself there, getting that experience, hopefully have my employer pay for my master's. My end goal would be to work not in pharmaceuticals, but more like green chemistry, environmental chemistry, because that's where my passions lie. chemistry's fantastic. Pharmaceutical industry does a lot of good, but I feel like right now the more pressing issue is what's going on with our climate and with our earth, and that's something that I want to take part in.
I think my favorite part about being a female in science is just it makes me feel really proud to be part of this movement of women who are working to figure out the answers to scientific questions. I think it's really important that we have women working on these problems, especially because we really need all of the input that we can get from people of all different backgrounds.
My favorite part about being a female in science is there's so many opportunities that are still unexplored. Historically, there weren't many females in science, and I think that this is a great time to start getting into science if you're a female. There's a lot of opportunities. A lot of colleges, universities, and graduate schools are looking for more females to enter their programs, so they're very willing to accept females into their programs to work with them. And I think it's a lot of fun just showing the boys that they're not the only ones that can do science and math really well. And it's fun to teach them a little bit and show them along the way. So after Marist, I hope to go to graduate school to do either environmental chemistry or toxicology. And then hopefully, I think I want to work for the state, maybe, or for the Department of Environmental Conservation. Not really sure yet. I want to do a lot more research. I want to do a lot more learning. And I want to teach along the way too. Maybe when in graduate school I'll be able to teach chemistry or chemistry labs and just help younger kids find a love for science.
So I have a younger cousin that wants to be a scientist. So what I always tell her, the advice that I try to give her and other young girls that want to go into the sciences, is just do it. Don't listen if people say, oh, that's not what you should be doing. Don't listen to them. What do they know? If that's what you love, then that's what you should be doing. If you find something that you're passionate about, that you love waking up and doing every day, then do it. Keep going until you find kind of exactly where you belong.
I would just say, really, you can do it. That's really the most important thing, is knowing that you're capable of it. And if it's something that you're interested in, then you should really consider it as a career possibility, because we always need more women joining the forces, and we always need more people helping out to understand all of these scientific problems.
I think they should really try the sciences, especially in high school. Take a lot of electives, just try a lot of different sciences and see what you love, see where you're being pulled, and go for it.